Hello and welcome to another edition of Another Book Review. This week I'll be reviewing Hench by Natalie Zina Walschot. Unfortunately, I don't have a cover to share with you this week because I did listen to this on audiobook. I'll talk very briefly about the author, go into a spoiler-free overview of the plot, talk about what I liked about the book, what I didn't like about the book, who I'd recommend the book to, and finish off with what I will be reading for next time. Natalie Zina Walschot has been an editor as well as a published poet. This is her first novel, her first major work. From what I gather, she is a novelist who lives in Toronto. I think there's also, from what I've read, a sequel to this book in the works. At this time, it was a standalone book, but I think a sequel has been announced. So I just want to throw that out there in case you're interested in reading the book, in case that sways you one way or the other. This book, Hench, is about a character whose name is Anna, who is a henchwoman in a world where there are superheroes and supervillains, similar to the Marvel or DC universe. She works for a hench staffing agency, so it's hench people who are hired by supervillains who are there to commit some kind of crime. So, for instance, if you ever watched the Batman animated series, there's always big muscle men with hats and machine guns who are firing at Batman. Those would be henchmen for the Riddler, the Joker, whoever. It's a similar thing. Anna is a data specialist, so all of her skills deal with collecting data and understanding data, but it's kind of a similar concept. So the book is really her getting into a criminal organization led by a supervillain called the Leviathan, and the two of them exacting revenge on a superhero known as Super Collider, and you kind of learn the relationship between Super Collider and Leviathan as the book kind of goes on, and that's kind of the main central mystery of the book, is why there's animosity between these two characters, and Anna is there to assist Leviathan in kind of exacting revenge on Super Collider. So that is the main plot of the book. I thought that the underlying idea as far as a hench person in this world just following their story in a world of superpowers is a cool idea. I think that I like the character of Anna a lot. I think she has real motivations that are relatively easy to understand, but I think it gives her some complexities. She does have friends outside of work, and some of the major drama from the book comes from how she deals with those friends as she kind of gets deeper and deeper into the criminal underbelly that she's entering. So I thought that was cool. She has to kind of make choices at times due to those friendships, so I thought that was interesting and made the character feel real. Some of the things that I liked a lot less, when you have a superhero world but you don't have the years of continuity that comic books have, you're kind of forced to build the world as you're telling a story. And I thought that was some of the weakest parts of the book. I think that this book almost could have been split into two. One part maybe more dealing with the world itself and the understanding of kind of the rules of the world, because I felt at times that I was a little lost of exactly what the rules were and how supervillains and superheroes work. It's not always concretely explained. There's one point that comes towards the end that kind of is a callback to the Foundation, but in my opinion, the Foundation wasn't set up strongly enough for you to really care about that reveal. So that was frustrating. I felt like the book was a little too long. I think it could have been trimmed down quite a bit. I feel like there were scenes that kind of went on too long. There are dialogues between two characters where it felt like the dialogue was getting repetitive, and instead of having it be, 2 or 3 minutes of audio, it probably could have been 1 minute if the dialogue had been a little bit tighter. So that was something I noticed. I think that this is a personal taste, but there's a lot of profanity in the book, and that kind of turned me off. A little bit here and there didn't really bother me, but it felt like there was a lot of profanity at certain parts of the book. To each his own. That may bother some people, that may not bother some people. I found the plot, especially the last quarter, to be quite confusing. I think there are a lot of new characters who were introduced later in the book, and it was hard for me to kind of keep track of the relationships of all the characters. Again, if this had been a kind of using pre-existing characters, that may have been a little bit easier to see the relationships between people, because kind of going into a Batman comic who Batman is, who Robin is, who Alfred is. But for this, because she's kind of doing it brand new, it was hard sometimes for me to really understand the relationships between characters. And again, from a Foundation standpoint, the Foundation wasn't really laid down as strongly as I would have liked. So those are my feelings about Hench. I think it's an interesting idea, and I think if you're someone who is into superhero fiction, then you may enjoy it. Tonally, I would say this is probably something that's geared more towards college students. There is, towards the end of the book, some body horror stuff that I found kind of gruesome that didn't make me feel great about it. And it also kind of called into question the morality of the characters in the world. And I don't know if that was intentional or if it was not intentional, but I thought that that was something I would probably not recommend this to kids because of that and the profanity. But that is Hench by Natalie Zina Walschot. I will also be reviewing another book here today, and that book will be the Might Have Been, cover out here, by Joseph M. Schuster. I'll be recording that shortly. Until next time, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have my Twitter link below in case you want to follow me on Twitter. Until next time, bye.